Guys, again, happy off season. We're going to keep rolling with Pigskin Frenzy on NFL Thursday. We got more updates on OTAs and offseason workouts. Yes, we are still in OTAs. A lot of teams are starting their OTAs now, especially as the rookie mini camp's over, but rookies are still in it because they're a part of OTAs. Everybody's here. We're rocking and rolling. Everybody's working through their drills, and we're going to talk about 3 teams, including the dark horse team that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Don't forget about the Titans. We're going to dive deep into them, as well as the Falcons, as well as the Eagles. We're going to talk about what's going on with Jaguars kicker Brandon McManus, the controversy surrounding him. Again, I don't really like talking about these things, but we're going to discuss it. Same with the Rashee Rice thing. I didn't really like talking about that as much, but we're still going to discuss it. It's real-life topics, and we need to talk about it, as well as the contract status for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, the 2 Bengals wide receivers. We're going to talk about that. We're diving deep into the OTAs and off-season workouts. Welcome to Pigskin Frenzy on this wonderful and beautiful Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joel Norris, and whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, listening on Podbean, or listening on Apple, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. Instagram, X, Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow, like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football on X. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL trivia question, as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, if you want more updates, go to the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you will find a home and about me page. You will find the platforms page. You can look and you can see the platforms page, and you can click on which platform that you would like to listen to the show on, just like some of the things I just mentioned. They're on there, as well as a contact info. You can contact me, email me personally, and I will answer your questions or concerns about the show, as well as our affiliations page, which brings us to our partners at The Beard Club. The Beard Club, guys, if you want a great shave, if you want to look great, if you want to look good, if you want to look good, glow, and just feel great about yourself, men, listeners who are listening to the show, and significant others to the men listening to the show, listen up. You're not going to be disappointed. Gather around. Gather around as I'm waving my arms in the air. If you're watching me on YouTube, gather around, or gather around the Amazon Echo, Alexa, gather around Podbean, Spotify, you name it, and listen to what I'm telling you. The Beard Club is a great thing and a great product to get your grooming needs met and your facial hair needs met with the Beard Grooming Kit. That's right, Beard Grooming Kit. They're 15% off. You can go get them now. You can also, there was a Memorial Day sale going on. I don't know if it's still going on or not yet, but gather around and get and find out and get your products there. There's loofahs, there's beard balm, beard oil, beard and face wash. There is 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, body wash, you name it. Loofah, boar bristle brush. You can get all your products at The Beard Club. Just go to my website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. Click on the affiliations page. There you'll see the Beard Club logo. Click on the logo and it'll take you to the Beard Club website, as well as my link tree. You can go to Instagram, X, Facebook, go to my bio, click on the link tree, and as well, you go on the link tree, click on the link tree link, and you will go to the Beard Club. If you click on the Beard Club link through my link tree, you will get your products there. The Beard Club, proud partner of Pigskin Frenzy. Thank you for being our partner for this podcast, and you will get your beard and facial hair needs met through the Beard Club. So, NFL day today, we're going to rock and roll with a lot of OTAs. Again, a lot of offseason concerns, a lot of offseason things. eventually we're going to get into the list of the show. And you know how I like to do my list of things, like top 10 running backs entering the 2024 season. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about skill positions and key positions, games that could impact the NFL season. We're going to talk about that one in the near future on Thursdays. We're going to talk about some of those lists on these shows. We're going to try to get people on to talk about what's going on with the NFL as well. But just keep tight. Just keep plugging into Pigskin Frenzy and keep tight on this podcast and keep tight on this show. We're going to talk about OTAs and report on 3 teams that I would like to talk about, and as well as contract status and the Brandon McManus situation. Let's talk about OTAs first, and let's kick it off with the Titans. Will Levis said after the the media and talked to the media that he was excited about the season. Why wouldn't you be? Look at who you got around you. You got Treylon Burks. You have Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins. You have Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears in the backfield as well. How could you not be excited, right? You got Chikakonkwo as tight end. There's no way to not be excited about this team. It's a very underrated team. If I'm the AFC South, I am taking a look at what the Titans are building as we speak. You're thinking, okay, the Houston Texans. Yes, I would have presumed that the Houston Texans and the Jaguars may be favorites right now. But you look at what the Texans are building, what the Texans are building are pretty solid. You got Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs now there. You got Joe Mixon in the backfield, C.J. Stroud at quarterback. What they're building at offense and on defense with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter as the 2 top edge rushers for the team on defense. You got a lot of guys in that organization and team who are willing to rock and roll. They went to the divisional round against the Ravens. They lost, unfortunately, but DeMeco Ryans, solid head coach, and he is building something down in Houston. But keep an eye on what the Titans are doing. Just keep an eye on what they're doing. Will Levis is excited about what Tennessee is bringing to the table. That AFC South is about to look more and more competitive. All 4 teams are starting to build up a little bit. And the Titans, especially on offense, are excited about what they're bringing to the table. I think the development of Will Levis is at hand here, and I think that's what the key thing is. And the key thing for this offense for Tennessee is under Brian Callahan, their new football head coach. I think that's what the big thing is. He says he's excited. He says he's ready to rock and roll. Will Levis did look good in a lot of drills. I think in some areas he needs to improve on. I mean, that's always. This is his 2nd season in the NFL. So, of course, he needs to improve on some things. But, I mean, not everything is going to be, everything's going to look great and sunshine and rainbows, right? Everything's going to be, a lot of people need to improve on some things. Even veterans need to improve on some things. So when you look at everything and you look at everything going on with the Titans, they look good in their drills. They're running their drills well. The defense is looking pretty solid and pretty underrated. You're going to have to watch out for that that secondary, especially going to be an underrated secondary now with L'Jarius Sneed on defense. You're going to have to watch out for the running game as well with Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears rotating in and out in the backfield. You're going to have to watch out for them. They look good in their OTAs today, running drills. They met with the media. They feel confident. They feel excited about what's going on in Nashville. So let's just watch out for everything going on with Tennessee and the Titans. I'm sorry for the camera shake. If you're watching on YouTube, I bumped my knee into the desk. So here we go. Let's talk about. We talked about the Titans. That was their report, and that was their little update on the Titans. Let's talk about what's going on with the Falcons and some updates on them. Kirk Cousins looking sharp. Running drills looking great. As we get into the Falcons, as we get into that offense, Tyler Allgeier also looking good. There were some reports on him running some drills as well. He looked solid. Rondale Moore, the new wide receiver there, him and Cousins can have a connection, and they're trying to build their chemistry there. Michael Penix, an update on him, the backup rookie quarterback who got drafted at number 8 overall, the future of Atlanta Falcons. He was doing some drills. He looks solid as well, passing the ball well, and I said that going into the NFL draft that he was the best pure passer in this draft class. He looks solid. He looks ready to go. He's running drills well as well. I think the offense is looking good. The defense still kind of in there, still trying to build up a little bit, build chemistry around each other, running the defensive drills. There could be some things that they're doing a little bit better. Tackling as well, they're just tackling, especially tackling like dummies and running drills, and especially not really just that, but being more physical in their drills. I think the Falcons could work on that as well. So when you look at what's going on there, a little bit more physicality could be it for the Falcons. But other than that, they look like they're going to be a solid team this season, especially under Kirk Cousins' leadership on the offense. It's going to look good. I'm excited to see what the Falcons do in the NFC South and in the National Football League coming up in 2024. So I'm excited about what's going on with them and what's going on in Atlanta. So that was an OTA report on the Falcons. Let's do one more report, and this is going to lead me into some questions about the quarterback area for the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Eagles, they're running their drills. They're looking good. Saquon Barkley is running drills, and he looks solid. The worst mistake, I keep saying it, the worst mistake was the Giants letting go Saquon Barkley, and especially to the Eagles of all teams, right? Their NFC East division rival. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to sit and say that they, they're not kind of kicking themselves in that one internally. So, the Eagles look good on offense. They're looking good. Jalen Hurts, we're going to get into him in a little bit. He's running drills okay, but there are some areas, especially when running plays in Kellen Moore's new offense at the Eagles, that has to be a little bit more than desired, right? So we're going to talk about that. The defense looking a little bit better. That defense was kind of sluggish last year. They're looking a lot better on defense now. Running drills right. They're looking more physical. The Eagles are looking good overall with their drills, and they're looking physical and ready to rock and roll. Before we conclude today's report on the OTAs and talk about the OTAs, with reporting everything, let's talk about the quarterback situation. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is doing. I don't see him losing his job. All right. As you know, the Steelers traded quarterback Kenny Pickett, who they picked up with the, I think it was the 20th overall pick in round number 1 of the 2022 NFL draft. As far as I know, he was round one pick 20 in the 2022 NFL draft by the Steelers. Kenny Pickett was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. They wanted a fresh start at quarterback, which I don't really understand. They didn't really give Pickett a chance, but oh well. I mean, they wanted a fresh start. They signed Russell Wilson. They got Justin Fields in there now. 2 quarterbacks in there now. Mason Rudolph no longer with Steelers either. So fresh start at quarterback for the Steelers. They traded into the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is their star quarterback. They signed him to a mega supermax deal, and he is their starting quarterback. I mean, paying him that much money, he needs to be their starting quarterback, right? And Kenny Pickett is their backup now. So what I have been seeing, what I've been hearing some rumblings and rumors of, is Kenny Pickett is outperforming quarterback Jalen Hurts right now in OTAs and when it comes to running drills and running some of the plays that Kellen Moore is presenting on the new offense. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say it's true or not. I'm just going by what I've been hearing. What I will tell you is that, would I be surprised? No, I would not be surprised. I think Kenny Pickett is a solid quarterback. I think Kenny Pickett is a quarterback that has not been given a proper chance. When in a lot of games, especially early last season starting for the Steelers, he shined. He showed some good plays and showed some true command of that offense early last season. I think Kenny Pickett is a quarterback that's not been given the proper chance. I think a lot of his issue is injuries. And undisclosed injuries that have been going on the past 2 seasons, his rookie season and in his second season for this team, right? So he's entering his 3rd season. He's a backup now behind Jalen Hurts. I think that Kenny Pickett is a quarterback when you look at him and you think, oh, he could start. I think if he shows that ability, when given the proper chance, you're going to think to yourself, why is this guy not starting? I'm not saying that he is a grand, spectacular quarterback, right? There wasn't many quarterbacks to choose from in the 2022 class. I think he was arguably the best one there in the class. He's not the overall, greatest quarterback out there, but he is a very underrated quarterback prospect that probably needs to be given a proper chance. And also, when given that proper chance, you better take him serious, right? So, I wouldn't be surprised about outperforming in Kellen Moore's offense under Kenny Pickett. Do I think that Kenny Pickett's going to start? No, I think Jalen Hurts is going to start, and he needs to start. But in the future, could we see Kenny Pickett in even a bigger backup role? Could be. It could be one of those situations where if something happens to Hurts, where he gets hurt or something happens, Pickett could pick up the pieces and he can step up and he could lead that team down the field and probably even to winning some football games. So we're going to see what's going on with Kenny Pickett. We're going to see what's happening there, and we're going to see what's going on with that situation with the Eagles. It's a very interesting situation and with reports going on with that and going on with Kenny Pickett as the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. That was their report on their OTAs, and that was the Eagles, Titans, and Falcons OTAs and what's going on with their all-season workouts. Let's move on to some more OTAs, but instead of talking about the OTAs itself, let's talk about the Bengals, and let's talk about the contract status of two particular wide receivers. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins and Jamar Chase were absent from day one of OTAs for the Bengals due to contract talks. Now, let's get Jamar Chase out of the way really quick because T. Higgins is a bigger issue. Jamar Chase, I think they're going to strike a deal with Jamar Chase right off the bat. I think Jamar Chase is going to get a new deal. I think he's going to get a very good deal. And I think that Jamar Chase, as he's entering his final year of his rookie contract, Jamar Chase is entering his final year of his rookie deal with the team. I think Jamar Chase is going to get a good deal. I think he's proven himself over the past four seasons to be an elite wide receiver in the league. I think he's going to get a good deal. I think he's going to stay with the Bengals. I think they want to keep that duo with him and Burrow alive. And I'm not as me per se, I'm not really too worried about Jamar Chase leading the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the one thing is, as we move on from Jamar Chase to T. Higgins. T. Higgins is another story. I think T. Higgins is on his way out. I'm going to tell you why. Reported yesterday by ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter that they have not, in ESPN in general, T. Higgins and the team and the organization have not worked out on a contract situation or a contract deal in over a year. In over a year, they have not talked about a new contract. Even though his contract was coming up, they have not talked about a new deal when he was playing in his final year of his contract. They have not talked about a new contract. He has been a very good part of this team. T. Higgins has. He has made some good plays. He has been a good wide receiver 2 and a key wide receiver 2 under Burrow's offense. Wide receiver 1, mainly Jamar Chase. But T. Higgins has been a really good factor in. Tyler Boyd, obviously signing with the Titans. He is with them, and Tyler Boyd is no longer with the Bengals. But building a wide receiver room in that room in Tennessee, though. But anyway, that's another story. Talking about Tennessee earlier, but now let's talk about T. Higgins. So Higgins, they drafted Jermaine Burton out of Georgia/Alabama because he played for two schools, out of Alabama mainly, to back up if T. Higgins wasn't going to be there or not. Now, he cannot rejoin the team. T. Higgins cannot rejoin the team because they franchise tagged him. He cannot rejoin the team in the next couple of days. June 1st is Saturday. He has to sign by June 1st, Saturday, his franchise tag, or he will not be able to rejoin the team. He will still hold out. We got another Saquon Barkley situation on our hands. Now, Barkley ended up re-signing that franchise tender and ended up playing for the Giants. Same with Josh Jacobs with the Raiders. But T. Higgins is one of those things where he's not budging. He is mad at the fact that he has not gotten a brand new contract with this team. T. Higgins has been a big part of this offense under Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon and under this offense the past few seasons. He got drafted in 2020 with the Bengals. He has been a big part of this team. He's been a very big part of this team. Or was it in 2020? Was it 2020, 2021? He's been a very big part of this team, T. Higgins has. And I think he wants a new contract. Point blank, he wants a new contract, and he wants a better deal than what he's getting, and they're not offering it to him, and they're not talking about him. They've even talked about trading T. Higgins away. There's been rumors of him being traded away for a very long time. There's been rumors of him going mid-season, during the season, that T. Higgins was playing his final season as a Cincinnati Bengal. But now there was also some rumors that he is going to sign a tender, and then he's going to end up playing the rest of the season with the Bengals and then become a free agent next year. We don't know what's going on with T. Higgins in the contract situation detail by detail, but I would not be surprised if he either A, gets traded, or B, gets released. I think what he wants is a trade. He's been asking for a trade for quite some time. There's actually been on 2 separate occasions he's asked for a trade. He's upset. He wants a better contract. He wants a better deal, and the Bengals are not budging on it. So there's a lot to address here, a lot to unpack. I don't know if they can afford. Is it? I don't know if it's one of those things where they can afford it because of Joe Burrow's contract, or can they afford it because of? Are they trying to make room for something else? I don't know. But T. Higgins is a story right there that we don't. It's really unclear and uncertain if he's going to be a Cincinnati Bengal or not. That's just my take on it. I think Jamar Chase is fine. I think if anybody's worried about Jamar Chase, I wouldn't be yet. I think the one you need to worry about is T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins is the one you need to worry about. I think you might as well trade him and give him what he wants if you haven't been discussing a contract offer for over a year. So that's just my thoughts on the T. Higgins situation. That's the updates on T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and what's going on there. We're going to talk about one more thing before we wrap up today's episode of Pigskin Frenzy here and conclude today's NFL edition of Pigskin Frenzy here. We're like 22 minutes into the podcast episode. Not a very long episode, but effective episode, and going to be a good episode when we drop this. So let's talk about something that I did not really want to address and talk about, just like the Harrison Butker situation last week. It has to do with another kicker. It's Jaguars kicker Brandon McManus. Now, he is being allegedly sued. He is being sued for, unfortunately, sexual assault involving 2 flight attendants on the way to a game in London, to their international series game in London last season. Yes, the Jaguars have an international game in London this season, just like they did last year. They are addressing it with Harrison Butker. A lot of things going on there. As I drop my pen, a lot of things going on there in Jacksonville, especially involving Harrison Butker. Now, praying for everyone involved. I do not like talking about these things. I'm praying for the flight attendants involved. I'm praying for Brandon McManus involved. If accurate, what he did was completely wrong, obviously completely wrong, should have not have done it. Needs to be addressed, and his actions need to have consequences with it. He's being sued. We don't know more details than that. But if it happened, team actions need to be addressed as well, because cases like this involving Rashee Rice even, it bleeds onto the field. It does. It bleeds onto the field, and it bleeds onto yourself and your brand and the team and the branding of the organization that you play for. That's what it involves. It's not good looks. It's not good looks for your team. So, Harrison Butker, different story. It's a different story because that has nothing to do with the field. That's just personal beliefs. That's why I titled last Thursday's episode of 126, we're on 128 now, but 126, last Thursday's NFL episode, Leave It on the Field. Because It's on the field. Leave everything out on the field. Let's do our talking on the field when it comes to personal beliefs. It has nothing to do with, football. Leave it on the field. Let's talk about everything on the field. Let's just play and not release him over personal beliefs. You release somebody with their actions and character on the field, off the field, that bleeds onto the field. That's one. And how your performance on the field is. That's what matters. And your character is what matters. And if you have bad character that affects the team and that affects the on-field play, then it's not good. Harrison Butker's character doesn't affect any of that. This is not a Harrison Butker talk. We're talking about Brandon McManus now, but I'm just giving you a prime example. This right here bleeds onto the field, and it's something that needs to be addressed. It's something that needs to be talked to about and said on. I think that what's going on with Brandon McManus is it's deep. It's really deep because we had a lot of these things, especially with Deshaun Watson, with the Browns quarterback, and talking about suspending him for half the season or for a majority of the season and everything going on there. I think it's one of those things where you look and you're thinking to yourself, man, it's a shame because Brandon McManus has been a nice guy. There have been a lot of countless stories of him being a really good guy, and it's a horrible thing, if true, what he did, right? There's no disputing that. And he needs to be held accountable for it like everybody else does. But I'm just praying for everybody involved. I really am. I'm praying for everybody involved. I think that it's a tough situation strictly because of who he is and kind of how good of a kicker he is. He's a very underrated kicker for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it bleeds onto the field. And it's stuff that you just don't want to deal with. And it needs to be addressed, if accurate. It needs to be addressed. Those are my thoughts on it. Not going into deep detail with it because you really don't know a lot. Because they don't spew out a lot yet. There's going to be more coming out. If there's any updates on the situation, I will, be on top of it. I'll be on it. But there's really not a lot to say other than the fact that it's a shame, right? It's a shame, and you just pray for everybody involved. It seems like there's a lot going on this offseason. With Rashee Rice, the Harrison Butker, the McManus, there's just a lot going on during the offseason in the NFL. And that's why I say to everyone before we conclude today's episode of Pigskin Frenzy that this offseason is not dead. It's not quiet. You think it's quiet, but it's really not. There's a lot going on, especially with offseason workouts, especially with stories that affect and bleed onto the field, stories that have nothing to do with football but involve football players. There's a lot going on. And when you tie it into everything and you just mesh it into everything, you're thinking, wait, the offseason's not quiet. There's a lot going on here. And now we're entering June. Saturday's June. We have 3 months to go. 3 months to go for the kickoff of the NFL season. 2 months, 2.5 months, or 2.5 months at least until college is back. So we're going to enjoy this summer, but the offseason is not quiet, I'm telling you. It is not a quiet thing. We're going to keep plugging into Pigskin Frenzy with the offseason stuff. We're going to have more people on this show. We're going to talk about situations like this. We're going to have interviews. We're going to have list episodes of Pigskin Frenzy. It's going to be a big time deal, good episode, and we're not going to want to miss any of the action here on NFL Thursdays. That just about does it for Pigskin Frenzy here today. A big thank you for taking some time out of this beautiful Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, and Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow, like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL question as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, check out the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you're going to find a lot of things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Also, also, you will find the Beard Club and our proud partner there. Thank you again. Again, go to our affiliations page, click on the logo, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. You can also go on our link tree, X, Facebook, and Instagram, and go on the bios there of the social media pages and click on the link tree there. You will find the Beard Club link on the link tree. You can also click on the little link tree down below on our YouTube video and find all of our other platforms as well as the Beard Club link there as well. So again, big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. We will be back Tuesday, and we will start our conference standing projections in the month of June as we get ready for the 2024 college football season on Tuesday. This Tuesday, we're going to talk about the group of 5, not overall conferences, but where the group of 5 stands as we get ready for conference standing projections with the other Power 5 schools, or Power 4 schools technically. But we will talk about how teams will finish and where I projected them to finish going into the 2024 season and the college football playoff in December. So keep on with it Tuesday. I'm Joel Norris signing off. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you Tuesday for another edition of Pigskin Frenzy. For everybody out there, please and always stay the course.